Hello there everyone and welcome to bitparade.co.uk's look at Aegis of Earth Protonovus Assault. Now I may have pronounced some of that wrong, who knows. So this is it's a tower defense game. P-Cube, the publisher, have sent this over, and it's available. It's Sony consoles, but it's on PS3, PS4, and PlayStation Vita. My initial impression, is you may or may not be able to tell from the looks of it, is that it looked like a Vita game, yeah, I don't necessarily mean that disparagingly. Just you can maybe see from this shot here with this this ship docking. It just looks like an up-resed game on the PS4. It looks like it's, you know, maybe not the native resolution. It could possibly, if it was developed for a PS4, look a lot better. I do wonder which would be better. I mean, if it was developed with the with the Vita in mind, whether or not it would work. And the sort of it's a tower defense game. You're this city here. There's a few different cities. I've unlocked 2 at the minute, but you're on this disc, and you rotate the 4 layers, which we'll get into in a minute. And some of you can't put everything on everywhere. There's tiles that you can't use, so you're limited. There is a second city, like I say. We'll maybe have a look at this. I should say as well, I'm talking over gameplay footage captured directly from the PlayStation. So it's 720p, limited frames, all this sort of stuff. I'm trying to remember what happens, what I cover in this, but this is the R&D department. So when you destroy enemies, they drop crystals. Once you reach a certain level, so there'll be certain requirements. So some of these I need to be like city level 8, which city level 9 on this one, and commander level 10, commander 11 with other things developed. So I'm now switching party members, I think, to rest people and stuff, and they have different skills and things. It's not the most transparent stuff. It's not very obvious what they do or things, but it just kind of happens, and you're just like, you know, you'll hear a character shout out, you know, launching a second attack or something. You're just like, okay, alright, I don't know what's doing. I don't know who's doing that. I don't know where they're represented in the map. They just happen. So, like I say, so we've got these tiles, and this is the second city that we're looking at now, actually. So it may be that I think this is the second city. Yeah, it is. So the thing I don't like about the second city is the two. If you look in the bottom half, there's 2. Oh, looks like 2 red buildings. It's actually 4 red buildings. They've merged together. I don't like that I can't set a default for these this city, so that, or for both the cities, so that it's like, right, okay, well, I want it so that I start the level with with a row of 3, because you can get it so that 3 rings line up. So if you've got the red thing is a cannon, so if you've got cannon, and then a cannon behind it, and a cannon behind that, it's like a super powered cannon. I'd like that to start, and I'd like to just move the whole thing if possible, and you can't do that. But I'm here. I'm fortifying, improving the weapons that I've got available. So I've got missiles, which obviously have a broader range, whereas the cannons maybe have quite a narrow range. It's not quite straight down the middle, but it sort of feels a little bit like it. Yeah. So all this stuff spends crystals to build. So I've got different ones. I've got 14 yellow, 28 red, 2 blue. I haven't really found a use for the blue ones yet, but you can burn those. You can destroy those and get what you see. It says 55. I forget. They keep mentioning it. It begins with an A. It's some sort of material. So you got someone's power that's just activated. Tycho's discount. So that will then the 45 of this 35 that's just gone down to. That and the gold are how you upgrade things, which is important. You can't just be going into battle with level 1 stuff. You need more powerful stuff. So this city, when I got hold of it, had guns at the 2 cannons that you can deck in the bottom half, and I think the missiles as well at level 7. Where I haven't managed to get anything that I built up that high yet. So the city had very few defences, but what it had was quite powerful. And I think that's what you were supposed to use, but I ended up spending a lot of materials and stuff. I feel like I had an abundance, and then I got a second city, and all of a sudden I didn't have an abundance anymore. Also, with neither city, I've completely covered everything, because I feel like there's going to be a lot more weapons and things, and yeah, one of the problems I have with it is the guns will only face the way, or will only shoot the way they're facing. So there isn't a weapon, and maybe one comes later on, but there isn't anything that you can put it at the back, like the missiles, for example. You can put it at the back where, you know, but they'll, if anything gets close enough, they will join in. It's only if something attacks you from behind, but in which case you're rotating the disc. So we'll get to some gameplay in a minute while I just mess around with this. Everything uses power as well, I should say that. So on the top right, you can see it's 2,050 out of 3,400. The more units you build, the more power that's going to use. So you have to upgrade your power. There's also, you see, 2,062 top right. That's how many people are living in the city. People keep coming. That ship at the start that you saw, the plane thing, or whatever it is, helicopter thing, helicopter boat, I guess, is migrants coming to your city. Yeah, and there's also happiness there, which I haven't really seen. If people are happy, you're more likely to get people in the city, which means you'll get more taxes, some more money to spend. It's sort of light management, I guess. I should just say, sorry, to finish the thought about the Vita, I do wonder how well it controls something, because it's quite a small screen, and well, it's probably quite clear on the Vita screen. I don't know if you can, you know, playing on a TV screen, you've got more real estate, and it's just easier to pick things out. One of the problems I've had is that I have had trouble picking things out. I can lose track of where my guns are and things, and it's yeah, it's not always clear what's in line and what isn't, and particularly some of the angles you point out. I think I need to give up and shift the. So you rotate the camera as well, and I think I need to invert that, or it's inverted, and that's why it doesn't make sense. I think it is inverted. I think that's why it doesn't make sense. So these are missions available to me. I've got level 1 to stuff, level 5, level 7. I don't feel confident about taking on a level 7. I have done on this now. I think I might have got destroyed. I can't remember. I've only lost one fight so far, and it didn't do a huge amount of. Didn't cost me huge amounts. It did mean some of my shields that I'd had. So there's outer rings. The fourth one, the outer one, you can only put shields or these things that absorb damage, that act like shields, I guess, but they fill up your special cannon. Also, like healing items and things like that could go on the outside. Yeah, and so then you've got your 3. So you can see here I'm rotating stuff. Things are coming, and you will see that my guns now have opened up into a big cannon there, because I've lined it up and I've moved my shields. I've got a huge range covered there, but most of that's the wide parts of that are the missiles. So you can see I turned the wrong way because I needed to do this. And generally, if you have your guns split like this, so far, if you have a gap in between, that seems to cover that's how the enemies tend to come, is in those kind of lanes. So if you line it up with one, chances are, as you can see, when one comes to the right or left of it, yeah, you know, you can do that. So the way I've got it set up is I've got 2 on the very inner rings. I've got 2 cannons, so it just means I have to just move the inner ring to you may or may not see me do here to make the cannons more powerful. So this battle I don't think really shows anything too interesting, but if you look at the bottom left, 48% of the way through of this mission, it's quite an easy one. There's not going to be too much damage, but so you can see I'm moving. I've now highlighted the outer ring, which means I'm going to move the shield. There you go. Because that thing on the left can do a big cannon thing, which will charge up my special, which I don't have on this at the minute. This city didn't have one at this point. As you see, I'm just moving the shields again. I haven't had to move the actual ring too much. It does happen. You do need to, eventually you need to be spinning around constantly, and again, it can feel like you're lost a little, and it's where it'd be. I'd prefer it if you could just move the whole thing. Just lock, press. Maybe there's a way. You press circle and you lock the whole ring, and I haven't noticed any way to do it. I've certainly not been told of any way to do it. So you can maybe just see to the top left, there's little dots of red where that text has just appeared. That's the crystals that are dropped. So the city here, this city that I've just been on, I've just won, Medina. Oh, this will bounce to the second video now. There's going to be the break, but that will drop more red crystals. You see, I've leveled up my commander level there. Awesome stuff, Commander. So you won't see any of it here, I don't think, but it's in the PR stuff. It was boosted, boasted as a sort of visual novel. So there is a story running through it. You don't, so far, not really had any choices. But this is me leveling up, getting residents because I've got happiness done well. 96. This is the crystals. This city drops more red. The first city drops more yellow. I've leveled up a couple of commanders. Don't really know what that does necessarily. But then you pick someone to basically commend and so go, oh, well done, you did a good job. They use energy as they fight, so you start off at 100%, and then as you use them more, they get tireder and are more tired, and so you need to swap them out. If you can't swap them out, give them praise and they get plus 20 onto that stamina, and it's just about managing that. And initially it's quite easy. You've got 4 characters, praise 1, praise 2nd, praise the 3rd, praise the 4th, and keep doing it like that, and you'll keep everyone topped up. Eventually you can switch characters out, which messes with the level a little bit, but at least you so we're back in the town management stuff, so this is the second video now that I've pieced together. It may have been seamless, I'm not too sure. I wasn't paying attention, but I've now got a blaster cannon, the big laser thing. Wait, no, yeah. So blaster cannon is my special move. So we're a little bit later on in the game. We're going to fight a boss. So the one thing I will say is this looks simple. It looks like a puzzle game. Oh, not a puzzle game, I guess it's tower defense. But I was talking to a friend the other night about not about this, but about puzzle games in general, and how we talked about Pang. There's a new Pang game out, and how I love those kind of games, but they maybe don't. So we were discussing whether or not we both paid full price for Mr. Driller and Buster Move on the Dreamcast, because we can't really remember, but it feels like we did. This, I think, here you see I'm destroying some crystals to earn Illuminite, which I can then spend upgrading stuff, so I've got quite a lot now. So I can upgrade things, improve things. I'm going to improve this generator, which means I have more power to use. Yeah. So this, I've seen it available for, it's about £20, £21 if you shop around on the internet on the PS3 and Vita version. The PS4 version is slightly more expensive, about 25, 26. This feels almost like it should be a download game, but at the same time, I've put hours into this, hours and hours, and I mean, this video is going to be, I don't know how long, but fairly long, and I don't know that it's not a short game. I'm nowhere near the end. I've got at least another continent to go to, possibly 2, if there's a city per continent. So this is going to be the boss fight eventually. So the way boss fights work, but we'll get to that. So yeah, anyway, I think it's quite a big game. I quite like it, but yeah, I don't know entirely what I think of it. I've hit different enemies here, but this is where you see enemies have just kind of appeared right in front of me, and if I wasn't set right, I was still trying to rearrange my city to get to a default, whereas they would have appeared right in front of my cannons if I'd been allowed to set my city. So yeah, it's yeah. So you can see now with I need to just start rotating. I constantly turn the wrong way, and I just need to wonder, okay, so what is that? Because the angle you're at, you know, always show you the right place. So I need to rotate the cannons again, because, you know, there we go. This should just take care of itself. So I actually don't start off too well here. There's a laser can get involved with. Moving the shields and stuff. So the bottom left, very bottom left, you can see it says 25%. That green bar is how far through this strike I am. But then below that it says 1310.6 alt. That, when it gets to that sort of high, anything above 800 means it's entirely possible you're going to get attacked by a boss. So that's what's going to happen. And the way that presents itself is you do a mission, and when you get to about 97%, the normal mission stops. 97, 98, I think it's 97 on this one, it was 98 usually. You then have to fight the boss. The boss so far I think has been pretty, well, more or less they've been the same things. I think I've only fought 2 different ones. So yeah, so the bottom right I've got my blaster cannon, which is about half full, so at a certain point I will be able to use that blaster cannon once it's full. And the annoying thing is you may have to cancel out of it, but you can't trigger it again until it's full. So even though you might have energy left, you can't use it, which is, you know, not the end of the world, but it means that if you start launching an attack and then the thing moves, it's a bit of a pain in the ass. In terms of what I think of this, I don't know. It's decent. You know what? That's what I think of it. It's a decent game. It's a good game. There we go. This is everything's just turned red. So we are. Here's the boss. So yeah. My issue with it is why I'm stalling on saying what I think of it is because I've played quite a lot of it and I don't know. I don't know how much of that, or how much more I want to play, and that's not a criticism of the quality of the game. It's more that it's a lot of the same thing. It's like I say, it's quite a big game, and some things like it doesn't always, like how do I get rid of that shield that it threw up? Do I just have to wait it out? And there's little things, the shield's back up again and stuff. So there's just little things that it doesn't always present in the best way. Am I set up right? Did I spend way too much time doing? There you go. See, I've missed. So I had to back out, but my cannon's mostly full. So as long as I just keep going, I can get to use it again. I think I do get to use it again. But yeah, it's the sort of thing. There will be a review, and it's something that I will. I'll have to go into more detail in the review itself because it's difficult to present, I guess, in a video thing where I'm losing focus. I'm kind of going, how much time's left? But yeah, I get to launch the cannon now, and again, it fucking moves, doesn't it? So, but I get to take a second shot, which is good because once it stops firing, it's there you go, game over or fight over. So it gets quite involved. It's like this level that you're watching the stuff that's going on is way beyond what it starts off at, and like I say, I haven't had to worry too much about the back of my city. I've just been rotating around. There's tiles that you can't use. It says they're quarantined, they're locked. I don't know if you can clean them up and use them eventually. I would have thought that would be in there at this point, but maybe it does get there eventually. I hope it does because I'd quite like to just have this city that I could just fucking leave, just go, right, that's it, and let it just do its thing and occasionally worry about something. But yeah, so like I say, so far I think this has been pretty good. Very big for the kind of game it is. Unless I'm just playing it wrong and taking an age over it, but yeah, I've put a fair few hours into it, and I feel like I'm a long way from the end. I will try and finish it before I write the review, but yeah. So you can see I'm picking someone to praise, and it's based on who have I got a spare character for. So while the guy top left he's only got 70 heart, he needs it more than anyone else. I can switch him out. I've got a spare. What's slightly annoying is I now get a third character. Or an extra character, who means I've got 3 characters for one position. I'd rather him go somewhere else, so that I don't need him in that position. Presumably someone's going to wander off or something, but yeah. So there's promotions and things. Like I say, I don't necessarily know what that means. What benefit is to people leveling up and things. I will look into it, I promise, but I did a mission there. So the way the missions work, very quickly say this, is you're left with tasks. So it isn't just that you beat a boss game, mission over. It's more that you need to do these tasks. Anyway, thanks for watching. This has been for bitparade.co.uk.